to answer this question, but I think the way he talk, he think he's Superman, right? And he is very disrespect, not just with me, with everybody. Extended, right? We never talk directly. Uh, the times he wants to talk with me is always somebody in the middle. But at the time we talk directly in person, everything goes smooth.
Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, and Turki Alalshik met earlier today in Saudi Arabia. But what happened before the meeting caught boxing fans completely off guard. Just moments before sitting down together, tensions flared between Canelo and Crawford, leading to a heated exchange. This time, it was Canelo who sparked the confrontation, accusing Crawford of running his mouth in recent interviews. "You're crazy. What are you even saying when you get interviewed?" Canelo fired off, setting the tone for an intense face-off that left everyone stunned.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't dis.
Obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not Kovalev.
Kovalev
We have to
was
respect
older.
the power of
And he
Canelo.
does. He does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power.
Canelo claimed that Crawford had been giving interviews where he disrespected him and dismissed many of his past opponents. According to Canelo, Crawford seemed to believe that the fighters Canelo defeated in his 62 career wins weren't even close to his own level in terms of skill. That attitude didn't sit well with Canelo, who was visibly fired up. He insisted that his record speaks for itself and is far superior to Crawford's. "We'll see what happens in the ring," Canelo said with conviction.
And he's not even in my weight class already. And, it's a lot of things there that doesn't make sense. And plus, at this point in my career, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. And I agree. So,
in an interview with Monica Kopian, current world super welterweight champion and former undisputed welterweight king Terence Crawford opened up about his potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez. "I don't have to knock him out. I just have to beat him," Crawford said confidently. "I'm not going in there looking for the KO. Could it happen?" "Yeah, sure." Crawford analyzed Canelo's style, describing him as a small big guy who's moved up through weight classes. "These bigger guys are slower. They might land shots, but he sees them coming at the last moment," Crawford explained, pointing out that Canelo's experience against naturally bigger fighters like...
But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always have respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
"I come from a lighter division, faster, more precise," said Terence Crawford, breaking down why he believes he has the edge against Canelo Alvarez. "If he gets hit with a clean shot he doesn't see, he can be hurt. He's not a machine. He's, human like me. He bleeds like me." While Crawford isn't ruling out the possibility of a knockout, it's not his primary goal going into the fight. Instead, his plan is to wear Canelo down over the course of the bout, something he believes can be even more effective coming from a smaller, quicker fighter. "I won't step in thinking I can't hurt him, but I also won't step in thinking I have to knock him out," he explained. "I'm going to fight my fight, and if the KO comes, of course, I'll take it. Though the fight has yet to be officially confirmed, anticipation is building fast. All signs point to a clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford taking place sometime after the summer. That timeline aligns with Turki Alalshik's plans.
Canelo is the biggest fight in boxing right now today.
Your fight would do bigger numbers than Benavidez Canelo.
100%. 100%. African-American, Mexicans, they always made for the biggest fights in history. I can easily go fight Virgil Ortiz or Fundor, whoever, to make a quick buck or a quick little penny, but I'm looking at bigger picture.
Terence Crawford is living his dream, and he's making sure the world knows it. As he hits the gym daily, bulking up and fine-tuning his skills, he's also staying in the spotlight, doing interviews and hyping up what's shaping up to be one of the biggest fights of the year, his highly anticipated September showdown in Las Vegas. When it comes to this matchup, opinions are divided. Some fans and fighters argue that weight classes exist for a reason, and that stepping up to face a naturally bigger, stronger opponent is a dangerous gamble. Others, however, believe Crawford's elite skill set is more than enough to close the gap. Now an undefeated 41-0 fighter, Crawford is going all in for this moment. Physically, mentally, and strategically, he's chasing greatness.
Which boxing is deeply rooted in the African-American culture. So I do think that fight does a little bit more numbers than Benavidez versus Canelo.
This is a legacy fight. This is a generational fight. Will be talked about for years. When I'm gone, they'll talk about, man, you remember Crawford coming up to 168 and fighting Canelo, 2 top 5 pound fighters in the world, and they prime fighting each other.
Just think about it. Terence Crawford is jumping up 2 weight classes to challenge not just any champion, but the undisputed champion, Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo isn't your average belt holder. He's one of the most accomplished fighters of this era. If Crawford pulls this off, it won't just be a win, it'll be iconic. Crawford knows exactly what he's up against, but that hasn't shaken his belief in himself one bit. On a recent episode of Pound for Pound with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, he didn't hesitate to confidently back his chances. I feel like I've got the speed over Canelo. I've got the reach over him, Crawford said when asked about the monumental task ahead.
Thinks you're not a 54-pounder. In other words, you say, nah, he's too small.
That's his take. There's a reason why Israel was so respectful in the fight. Anytime I let my hands go, he either grab me or move. For the bigger guy, you should have been walking me down. You should have been bullying me. Canelo can say, what'd he say?
He just doesn't feel like you're a 54-pounder.
At that point, Henry Cejudo jumped in with a question, asking if the fight might turn into more of a cat-and-mouse game, implying that Crawford would need to rely heavily on movement and fight smart from a distance. But Crawford wasn't having any of it. He quickly shut that idea down. I'm not running from anything, he said firmly. Then came the comparisons. Triple C brought up some of Canelo's past knockouts, highlighting his brutal finishes against James Kirkland, who had come off a 6th-round TKO win, but was demolished by Canelo in the 3rd round back in 2015. Amir Khan, who was stopped by a devastating 6th-round KO in 2016, and Sergey Kovalev, the reigning WBO light heavyweight champion at the time.
Weight class. And
My real weight class is
it's not Canelo
168.
trolling.
I just want to know if I'm too small for 168. A lot of people my whole life been doubting me, but I know I'm smaller than Canelo. I know I'm smaller than these guys.
Yeah, but Canelo's pretty short too. Canelo's
Yeah,
your height.
we're the same height. We're the same height.
Exactly, for a 68-pounder. But he is a freaking boulder. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a thick.
Simply put, Terence "Bud" Crawford wasn't impressed. He pointed out that Sergey Kovalev was past his prime when Canelo stopped him, and then came a bold statement that made it clear where Crawford stands. Don't get me wrong, Canelo does have a lot of power, he said. But all those guys you named, they're not as skilled as me. I'm sorry, no disrespect to any of them, but the skill level is night and day. Strong words from the 37-year-old, but he didn't stop there. When asked how he sees a fight with Canelo playing out, Crawford acknowledged it would be a tough challenge. He gave Canelo credit, calling him a great fighter, but made it clear that he believes in his own skill set even more. The fact that people doubt me, it just motivates me more to make this fight happen, Crawford said. I watch him and think, man, I can beat this dude. And as for the size difference, the southpaw from Omaha wasn't the least bit concerned.
Easy work. I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
One thing's for certain. If this fight happens, Terence Crawford isn't stepping into the ring just to survive. He's coming to win. And if he does, what comes next? Before anything else, Crawford has one mission: settle things with Canelo Alvarez. With his 38th birthday around the corner and a massive bout looming in September, the big question hanging over his career is whether this could be the end. Some believe retirement might be on the table, while others think the Omaha native still has plenty left in the tank. In a recent interview with The Ring magazine, Crawford was non-committal when asked about his future. When Monica Kopian pressed him on what's next after Canelo, he simply shrugged and said, "Who knows?" Still, he did leave the door open.
Beating Canelo Alvarez.
Yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy.
Right now, Terence Crawford is fully focused on one thing: preparing himself mentally for everything he needs to do to secure a victory against Canelo Alvarez. The World Boxing Association's super welterweight champion made it clear that nothing is set in stone about his next steps, but for now, his attention is solely on the upcoming fight. However, there's a bigger picture to consider. The 154-pound division doesn't offer the same legacy-defining opportunities that a fight with Canelo Alvarez does, and at this stage in his career, that's what truly matters to Crawford. One fighter who has been vocal about his interest.
It looks like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
Nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
Next question, I'd like to thank Canelo. It's
I definitely do use that as motivation, because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am. To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting.
Speaking on BS with Jake Paul, David Benavidez weighed in on the potential matchup between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. While Benavidez wouldn't be surprised if Crawford pulls off the win, he believes the weight difference will likely play a major role in the outcome. "I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford wins, but I wouldn't be upset if he loses either," Benavidez said. "I think Crawford's a tremendous fighter with an incredible boxing IQ. But the weight difference is just massive. Not to take anything away from Crawford, but he didn't look as strong at 154, and now he's going up 2 weight classes to 168. I mean, I think that just says everything that needs to be said on its own."
Throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are you gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top people ranked at WBC.
Should Crawford be successful against Canelo, it would undoubtedly go down as one of the greatest achievements in boxing history. At 37 years old, Crawford is once again daring to be great. However, standing in his way is a fighter whose style.
So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, and I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest at 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But, I see that weight class, I want to become champion.
In an interview with YSM Sports Media, Andis couldn't pick a clear winner in the fight, stating that Crawford has just as good a chance as Canelo to come out on top. "It's a great fight, a 50-50 fight," he said.
Potential mega fight. This is, I think, September at 168 pounds. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. You got people saying that, Crawford can stop Canelo. You got people saying that Crawford's too small, Canelo's going to run over him. What's your thoughts on that fight?
It's a good fight. 50-50 fight, I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see. So, it's a good fight.
When asked about the challenge Crawford faces by jumping up in weight, Andis acknowledged that it won't be easy. "It's going to be a little difficult. He's going to have to put on an extra 14 pounds so he could be slower. You've got to add weight and gain strength, so it's harder, but we'll see on fight night," he said. Then when asked what Crawford would need to do to win, Andis explained that it would be a tough night for Bud, but offered some advice. "Be smart, take his time, box and move. Don't sit there and let Canelo drop bombs on him."
Is it to make that jump from, he only had one fight at 54, so like 147, 154 to 168 pounds.
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little difficult because you got to, but he going to have to put on like an extra 14 pounds, so he might be a little slower. Or who knows, he could be faster. I don't know. Like, it's just, you got to add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that. Moving up in weight and things like that, so it's a little harder. But I don't know. We'll see on fight night how he'll look.
I feel like Canelo will be pushing everything behind the jab, catching Crawford when he tries to pull out, cutting off the ring. Things like that. Andis explained. He's going to have to bully the smaller guy, not let him control anything, and show him that this is his weight class. Crawford has admitted that he's currently well above the 168-pound super middleweight limit, weighing in at 186 pounds. This is a significant jump, especially considering he's previously claimed titles as low as lightweight at 135 pounds.
What does Terence Crawford have to do to be successful in that fight?
Be smart. Take his time, box and move. Don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him.
What about Canelo Alvarez?
I feel like Canelo going to press him, everything behind the stick, and catch him, trying to pull out, pull back, anything, cutting the ring off, things like that.
Is it one of those situations where you try to punch on like the...
Speaking to Fight Hype, Dmitry Bivol shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez when they eventually face off. While many believe the weight jump could be too much for Crawford, the Russian views it as a 50-50 fight. I'm not really a big fan of boxing, but this fight I will watch. I don't have a clear choice between them, but we'll see. It's an interesting fight, a 50-50 fight, Bivol said. Bivol has previously praised Crawford as the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world.
Another fight that's being reported to happen between Canelo and Terence Crawford. What do you think of that fight?
I'm not a real fan of boxing, but this fight I will watch if it's happening one day.
Many boxing experts have pointed to Terence Crawford's weight class as his main disadvantage ahead of his fight with Canelo Alvarez. However, the world super welterweight champion recently made a shocking revelation that could send shockwaves through Canelo's camp. Crawford revealed that his weight isn't as small as many have assumed, potentially changing the narrative about the size difference between the two fighters. One of Canelo's most well-known rivals, Gennady Golovkin, has faced him 3 times, with their first bout ending in a draw. Golovkin was widely regarded as one of Canelo's toughest opponents. Abel Sanchez, Golovkin's former trainer, has been highly critical of the upcoming match due to the weight disparity between the two fighters.
You said what you had to say. I don't know if you saw it. Canelo was asked about the live stream that you and Turk did during the fights, and Canelo said no comment. Your reaction to that, and that seems like that you do want this fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if this is the biggest fight in boxing today.
The undisputed champion in multiple divisions recently shared on social media that he currently weighs 186 pounds, a revelation that has sparked widespread discussion among boxing fans. Terence Crawford is set to face Canelo Alvarez in September at the super middleweight limit of 168 pounds. Known for his remarkable versatility, Crawford has claimed world titles in lightweight, super lightweight, and welterweight.
This fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. We both come in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type of era. So I think this fight will be massive.
And you mentioned Floyd. Obviously, Floyd and Manny, a lot of people thought happened way after it should have happened.
Some experts believe Crawford's weight gain is a strategic move to match Canelo Alvarez's physical strength, while others question whether it might compromise Crawford's signature speed and agility, traits that have been key to his success. Despite the ongoing debate, Crawford remains confident. In a video posted on his social media, he said, "What's up, y'all? I'm looking forward to being uncontested in September. Let's get it. It's work time." As Crawford prepares for his highly anticipated showdown with Canelo.
In your prime right now, you guys are both 2 of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. This is the biggest fight in boxing right now.
Definitely. And that's what I've been saying. You got two guys, top 3, pound for pound, going head to head with each other. And I understand, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but I'm up for the challenge.
William Skull holds the International Boxing Federation super middleweight title, the last piece of the undefeated puzzle that Canelo Alvarez lost in July after refusing to face him. If Canelo defeats Skull, he will once again unify all 4 belts in the division, setting up an undisputed clash with Terence Crawford. This potential showdown would be one of the most anticipated fights in modern boxing history, featuring 2 of the sport's top pound-for-pound fighters battling for ultimate dominance.
Size difference and having to put on some weight. What challenges does Canelo pose once you guys get in there?
I don't know. I just think, his punching power and his physical size is the only thing that I really have to worry about. But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his punching power, his size. I've been fighting bigger guys my whole life.
Terence Crawford's weight revelation has earned him more support from professionals who had previously sidelined him. That's all for now. For the latest updates on news, moments, events, and everything happening in the world of boxing, stay